Hey, mighty good friends. This is Amy Temperley here with a mighty good time, and I'm really pleased today. I have Sandi Feaster with T60 Plus Fit, right? Did I say that
Yes,
right?
yes. It's T60 plus means turning 60 and beyond. So T60
Oh,
plus. Yes,
love it. Love it.
good.
Yes. So 60 and beyond. You're right in our set. So I'm glad to have you with me today to tell us a little bit about the programming that you're offering. And so I'll just let you introduce yourself and your background and talk a little bit about the
Excellent.
classes that you provide.
Excellent. Great. Well, thank you so much, Amy. It's a pleasure to be here. Again, my name is Sandi Feaster, and by background, I am a nurse, registered nurse, and was an assistant dean at Stanford School of Medicine before I retired at 62. Now I'm 68, and pivoted my career into really health and wellness. I've always been focused on health and wellness and helping people with chronic health diseases. But fitness, to me, is so important. So I really focus on fitness. And, in my 60s, went back and became a personal trainer. And so this is really my pivot career of being involved in the fitness and wellness space. So it's been a lot of fun and a good journey.
Amazing. Tell me a little bit about some of the programming that you do and that you're offering for the public.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is I have a T60 Fit, so that's my fitness program, and it's designed for really all levels of fitness. So it's in several different levels, and so if someone is able to sit in a chair and can only sit in a chair, they can participate in the class. It's a 45-minute class. The first 30 minutes of it are either in the chair or standing. And then this last 15 minutes are on the floor. So people that can only do work in the chair will opt out of those last 15 minutes. The highest level of the class, again, so it's really focused for any level, that's where people can get on and off the floor easily. They can do sit-ups, they can do push-ups, they can do plank holds, they can do burpees, all of those things, but yet they can still be in the same class with people that are focused more on leg mobility from a chair or arm mobility. So it's, again, I try to incorporate the activities that can be done for at any level of fitness.
That's great. Yeah, it's nice to have the hybrids. And because we all, I think, sometimes go in and out of health status as well. Sometimes we might be very
Exactly.
fit, and then maybe we have an injury or something that sets us back for a while, and we need to be a little more careful to get back on our feet. So that's great. Though I can't imagine doing a burpee. It's been a long
Oh,
time since
yes,
I did
you
a burpee.
could. Yes.
Oh,
We can burp, but we don't know if we can do burpees, right?
exactly, exactly.
Yeah. But
When
it's
you're,
great. Yeah, I was just going to
oh,
say,
go
you can, like you said, Amy, you can regress to one of the exercises. Say what, I have several people that have knee issues. So some of the activities, the steeper squats, they regress back to, a reverse modified lunge or different things. So you can regress, progress during the class. And everybody
that's
gets a template of what the exercises are the day before. So they're prepared and ready to go. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a nice kind of heads up of these are the things
Yes.
we're going to
Uh-huh.
do. What do as a fitness instructor and when you're working with obviously older adults, what do you think is the most important components or what are the most important components of fitness for older adults?
I think the first thing is to move. You people, and particularly, over the past 2.5 years or so, the movement rate has gone down greatly. So, people are on their smartphones, on their, digital, whatever they have, computers, iPads, phones. And so we've been sitting more and not moving more. Gyms were shut down. People that used to go to the Y to a gym for the social engagement has gone down quite a bit. So I think that's been part of my journey, is to get people moving. And by committing, and I'm on Pacific Coast time, so the class is at 8 a.m. And so people, they start their day out right. And It's not, so my classes aren't just for people on the West Coast. I have people from the UK that join in from the East Coast. So, globally, Australia is a little tough because I think it's the middle of the night for them. But, I think number one, getting a routine, starting small, using habits to change. What can you do? We always talk about different hybrids, hybrid work environment, hybrid this, but can you do a balanced activity while you're making your coffee in the morning, standing on one leg? So it's just, and that's part of what I talk about in the class sometimes. It's like while you're lifting laundry, a laundry basket, a great time to practice your squats. So what do we do in our day-to-day activity, even if we're not going outside the home as much as we did, to increase our movement up and down the steps a little bit? Yeah, so it's been a challenge for people, and I think this format, Zoom format, has been a lifesaver and a lifeline for many people that have been unable to get out.
That's brilliant. And I have frequently talked about in other sessions around it, my mother walks up and down alongside the cabinet while her food's in the microwave at lunchtime. So she knows that she's at least walking for 5 minutes, because she does have some mobility issues, but that's a really big part of her day because she doesn't move much otherwise. And so I love that concept of incorporating it into the regular things that you're doing.
Yeah, we think of it, I think of it as exercise snacks. So we do little snacks during the day. We can snack in the pie hole, but we can also snack for the rest of the limbs. But it's, yeah.
I love that. I love that. And yeah, it's just whatever way you can get it, right? Whatever way you can incorporate it into your lifestyle, whether it's in a snack like that or in a larger class, do what you can. How has fitness changed your life?
It's changed it quite a bit. When I was in my mid 50s, I was about 40 pounds heavier than I am now. And I looked in the mirror, and I was always a skinny kid and a skinny adult, a thin adult. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my gosh, who is that person? We'd take pictures like, oh, how did that happen? And so it was, it was one of those epiphany moments. I said, enough. I'm done. I started to run, or I should say I started to walk. I couldn't run. I started to walk, run. Then I started to run a little bit more, walk a little less. Then I started to run and compete in half marathons. And so I built up, and I started moving. I wasn't moving. I was in a sedentary position. I was in an administrative position, went to meetings all day long with chocolate chip cookies there in the meeting room. And just, and I think sometimes, and then 5 years later, I had a bout with cancer, and I had radiation treatment and all that. And I thought, then I really got in my brain, life is short. We're not immortal human beings. And do I want to live into my 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s to being a centenarian, not being fit and not being able to do for myself? And that's one of the biggest fears that older adults have, is not being able to care for themselves. And the best way to be able to care for yourself is to move and have that fitness level. I mean, you don't have to be an elite athlete. You don't have to do things, but if you can do hand grip exercises. I use putty in one of my classes. We have a putty class for squeezing and hand grip. Hand grip is one of the harbingers for our body strength. If our grip starts getting very difficult, so what we do is we bring in aids to help us open cans, open jars. But if we think about that, it's like putting a cast on our hand and thinking our hand's going to work when it's immobile. And if you've ever had a cast on or had a jaw wired, I broke my jaw in a car accident when I was a teenager. Once they took the wires off, trying to move your jaw again took another couple weeks. I mean, it really, was very difficult. So you think about that. People wear their shoes all the time. They lock their feet into shoes. Their ankle flexibility becomes less and less. And without that good ankle flexibility and strength, we increase our chance of falling. So I like to do I also do a class on balance and flexibility. We work with our feet and our toes, spread our toes, raise our toes, gather up a little towel with our toes. So using, again, snacks, you can sit and watch TV and take a washcloth and grab with your toes that washcloth. So it's just
Great
getting
suggestion.
everything moving. Yeah.
Yeah, great suggestion. As a nurse, it's nice to kind of have that expertise that you bring to the table as well. Are there other key components of aging that you think folks should focus on? I mean, I think we know what most of them are, but I'd be curious what your thoughts are.
Well, I think the other thing is social interaction, which is so important. And I think, what you're doing and the forum, just getting people involved, whether it's online, whether it's in person. And I've actually found in my classes, people that didn't know each other have become friends. It's so rewarding to see people that are on a little box exercising. They start having conversations, they start having side conversations, and it's like, oh, can I have this person's email? Can I, reach out to them? Because I don't broadcast emails and contact information for privacy issues. That is the nurse in me. My HIPAA radar comes out for my privacy protection. But it's just, so I use my nursing background to really look at people with injuries, and just all of the years I spent with people that, helping them manage diabetes, congestive heart failure, and understanding that someone with a certain condition may not be able to do something. And that's not a shame issue. It's just an ability with, what's going on in their body. And so can we adjust for it? That's the other thing, is how do we adjust to make sure that person can be successful and feel good about what they're doing?
That's great. You mentioned before we started recording that you were thinking about doing a golf program. Can you tell us a little bit about your idea?
So I am like the world's worst golfer. And my husband and I have been golfing for probably 30 years. But what I've realized is that I have so many bad habits that were ingrained. So you think about, practice makes perfect. Well, bad practice makes perfectly bad golf. So I'm starting, and I'm actually going to be looking for some founding members that want to help develop this program for people that are 55 and older that want to stay physically fit to do golf. So what are the things we need to do with golf? We need to have a good swing. So many people get injuries in their elbows. It's the tennis elbow, the golfer's elbow. Turning, can we turn and pivot our waists and our hips around? Do we have good leg? How do our feet move? Do we turn the right way? Do we follow through? Because what I've noticed with friends that we play golf with, they're very stiff. They swat at the ball and they get really mad because they can't hit it far anymore. It might go straight, but if they're really good golfers, mine don't go straight. They go not so far and off either way. But so, I'm looking at that from a fitness level. Will it improve the golf game? Most likely. I think if you get the good motions, but the key is preventing injury. That's really my focus. Lower back, arm issues happen to so many people that golf, and particularly as we get older, because we're not as flexible and we don't move as much. So anyone that wants to join my founding members, I will be putting some information out about that. It'll be fun. Yeah. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, we look forward to sharing that because I know it's a hobby that a lot of people enjoy. And you're right, there's too many body parts that can go wrong just in a swing motion. So
Mhm.
fantastic. I think it'll be something people are very interested in. Well, we
Yeah.
are so thankful for the programming that you provide. So glad to have it on A Mighty Good Time. So if folks want to learn more about T60 Plus and her fitness programs, Sandi's fitness programs, please do go to amightygoodtime.com. You can find everything there. We'll have the golf programming up as soon as it's ready to go.
Yep.
And thank you again for your time, Sandi. I appreciate you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And I look forward to seeing some new, fresh faces in class. So please come and join me.